Alright, welcome back. In this video we look at our limit properties and how we can use those to evaluate limits. So really important, if you took some time and looked in through the notes with these limit properties. I know it's kind of a little dry, but these are all properties that have been established using that limit definition that was given in the previous section. And so what I'm going to do here in this video is kind of point out how they're used. And then a lot of times in practice we would do these a lot quicker than what I'm going to be doing. But here it's just to kind of really emphasize what these limit properties are and how they're used. So first consider the limit here as x approaches 5 of 3x to the third. That 3 is a constant, and we know our constant property for limits says that you can take a constant out of a function. So we can go ahead and bring that 3 out and write that as 3 times the limit as x approaches 5 of x to the third. And then another one of our limit properties says that for powers of x, we can just plug that number in. If it's a power of x, let's just go ahead and plug that number in. So in this case, plug the 5 in, and we would get 3 times 5 to the third, and 3 times 5 to the third would simplify to be just 375. We'll just simplify to be 375. Okay, so here we made use of that property that said we can pull a constant out. We also made use of the property. We also made use of the property that said a power of x, we just have to evaluate. Okay, so let's move on to another example here. Here we have a little bit more complicated function, x squared minus 12x plus 7. We're looking at the limit as x approaches negative 2. Well, our properties of limits say for addition and subtraction we can break that apart. Limits will distribute across addition and subtraction. And we can also, again, like above, pull constants out. So I'm going to do that, those two steps together. So write that down as limit as x approaches negative 2 of x squared minus, and I'm going to go ahead and pull out the 12 from the 12x, limit x approaches negative 2 of x plus limit as x approaches negative 2 of 7. And then we go through and compute each of those. Limit as x approaches negative 2 of x squared, that's a polynomial or power, so we just evaluate it. We'll get negative 2 squared, and then minus 12, and then limit as x approaches negative 2 of x, well that's just negative 2. Right? If x is approaching negative 2, then x is going to become negative 2. And then finally, limit as x approaches negative 2 of 7, that's a constant. And the limit of a constant is just that constant. So that's just going to become 7. And then we just simplify that. Do negative 2 squared. Oops, looks like I got ahead of myself and forgot to actually write that down. Negative 2 squared minus 12. So negative 2 squared would be 4. Positive 4 minus 12 times negative 2 would be plus 24. 4 plus 24 is 28. And 7 would give us 35. Okay. So in the next video we'll look at 2 more examples here. These examples involving the multiplication and division properties for limits.